Welcome to Bible by the Fire in DAYZ, where we study the Bible by a fire in DAYZ. This channel is out of control. We play survival games Monday through Saturday, but Sunday we set aside for this Bible study. I got a number of scriptures for you today, but before we get into those, if you want to support this series and send it out further via the algorithm, all you have to do is hit that thumbs up and go ahead and drop a comment. You can say anything you want. Say blah, blah, blah if you want. But when you do that, the YouTube algorithm sends it out farther to people who also need to hear this message. So please hit the thumbs up, drop a comment. But before we jumped into the scriptures, I actually came across the most random, poetic, spoken word I've heard in a long time. It was pretty absurd. It was the life of an ant from the perspective of an ant. And it was all in rhyme form. It was pretty interesting going through the intricacies of an ant. I actually learned a lot about ants. One, they can carry 10 to 50 times their weight depending on what type of ant. You probably already knew that the ants can carry a huge load. It's unbelievable what they can carry. But they also link up together to cross waterways or other gaps. They'll link head to toe and they'll bind together to form a bridge so that others can cross over, and then they kind of bring the last man over. It's pretty amazing. They'll even form like an ant raft to float down rivers and streams. They'll link together. But at the end of this spoken word about the ant knows that its body is dying and that it is going to give up the ghost soon. So the ant kind of wanders off, and the ant goes and talks to a ladybug and a caterpillar. And as the ant is talking to a caterpillar, saying, I know the time for me to die is soon. I've lived a great life. I've been so blessed. I've had such a great family of ants, and it's been a great life. I'm so blessed. Life was so rich. I only have one regret before I die. And my one regret before I die, as he says this to a caterpillar who seems to be listening well, seems to be wise. The caterpillar seems like the silent, wise, listening, understanding one. And the ant says to the caterpillar, my one regret before I die is I never got to look into the eye of a butterfly. And it was ironic because that's the end of the spoken word. The one regret I have before I die is I never got to look in the eye of a butterfly. Something along those lines. But what struck me is that he's speaking to a caterpillar. And he's looking the caterpillar in the eye. Caterpillar's kind of nasty and grubby. But that caterpillar is a butterfly. Everything in the genetics is a butterfly. He's looking in the eye of a butterfly on this side of transformation. And it struck me because we sometimes take for granted spending time with mom, spending time with dad. We don't see the beauty in it from this side of eternity. It's just kind of like something that has to be done. We don't always soak in the moment or realize how special it is what we are doing. He says, I've always wanted to see a butterfly. I've always wanted to look into the eye of a butterfly, but he didn't realize he was doing that right then and there. That caterpillar had the soul of a butterfly. And that was the ironic part of the spoken word, is that he was there, he was in the moment, but he didn't realize that was the moment. And so I want to pass that along to you guys, to realize that this is the moment. Yeah, it's not perfect, and it's not everything that it will be. There is a far greater future ahead in the kingdom of heaven for all of eternity, but to realize how special the now is. Psalm 139:14 says, I will praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Do we have those moments of reflection where we say, God, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Look at the cells. Look at my hands. Look at my eyes. Lord, look at how you've made me so amazingly with fear and reverence and wonder. And I know that your works are so wonderful. I love Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Wow. Now is beautiful. This moment is beautiful. When we do things according to the right time and we realize the moment that we're in and we're soaking it in completely. The moment I was handed my baby girl for the first time, that's a beautiful moment. The moment I say goodbye to my father, if I have that moment, and he breathes his last breath and enters the kingdom of heaven, even though it's painful, it's a beautiful moment. The moments of driving in the minivan to go to the grocery store with the wife and the kids in the back seat, that's a beautiful moment if I recognize how special the moment is. I'm looking into the eye of a butterfly, whether I realize it or not. It might look like a caterpillar, but that's a butterfly. This might look like a regular moment, but it's a beautiful moment. Genesis 1:31, God saw all that he had made, and it was good. James 1:17, every good and perfect gift comes from the Father above. Some amazing scriptures. That's the main thought I wanted to give you, is that the moments are special. The moments are precious. We're looking into the eye of the butterfly, whether we realize it or not. But do we take that in and realize it? But also, when we looked at that narrative of the ant, it was stronger than it realized. That ant could carry far more than what one would think. And that is also true with us. We can bear up under some difficult times and circumstances far more efficiently and effectively than we ever would realize. The grace of God kicks in, the Spirit of God kicks in, and something we think, I could never go through this treatment, I could never suffer this loss, I could never battle in a season this difficult for this long. And then you realize, I can. And I just did. And maybe you can't say, I just did. I haven't done it yet. But you can, and I promise you, you are stronger than you realize. We all know Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And we're not talking about necessarily lifting cars or jumping over, a freaking waterfall or some feat of strength. What Paul is talking about when he wrote that, the verse before says, I know how to be poor and have nothing and be hungry. I know how to be rich and still serve the Lord. I know how to be abased and I know how to abound. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. What Paul is saying there is that there's nothing that life can throw at me that I can't overcome. You know, he's not talking about, like athletes who put Philippians 4:13 on their shoe. Great, there's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't mean I can dunk a basketball because Christ is in me. What it means is I can go through seasons of life where I am incredibly blessed and I stay faithful. I can go through other seasons of life where I'm having cancer treatments and I'm falling behind on bills and I'm losing all of my material wealth and I feel like I'm falling behind, and I can still stay faithful. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, from the perspective of a man who had it all, lost it all, stayed faithful, and ultimately gave his life for the gospel. 2 Corinthians chapter 12:9. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness. Wow. When we are weak, we are strong because we have to rely on God in times when we acknowledge our weakness. So you're stronger than you think. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. When you are weak, you lean on him, and you are strong. And the third part we see here in the life of the ant is how well they worked together. They linked together. They formed one bond and one family together. And they were one body together. 1 Corinthians 12:12, just as the body is one, and there are many parts. They form one body, so it is with Christ. We all come together, and we have different skills, different abilities, different weaknesses, but we all come together, and when we come together, we can do amazing things. My little church in Palm Desert, California, just a few hundred members, not a huge church, yet we've built hospitals, we've built orphanages, we've done awesome things in Bible colleges and planted many churches, and there's probably hundreds of thousands, if not into the millions of people who've heard the gospel because of what this small gathering of people do in the desert in Southern California. Because we come together and great things happen. Just like the ant, they bond together and they can cross rivers. They can hold together and float down hard times and get to their destination. It's really amazing what we can do together. So 3 points in under 10 minutes here today. Number one, realize you're not looking at a caterpillar, you're looking at a butterfly, that all things are beautiful in their time. Yes, there's a transformation on the other side of eternity yet to come, but when we're spending time that feels mundane, it's not. It's beautiful. Today is beautiful. Soak it in and be thankful for it. Secondly, you're stronger than you realize. Just keep going forward. When we are weak, we are strong because we rely on him. Thirdly, bond together with the church, with other folks who are following in the faith. Work together. Be strong when they need you to be strong. Be weak and they can be strong when you're weak. But work together with the different skills and abilities and opportunities that God has given you, the resources God has given you. We say time, talent, and treasures. Whatever you can give, give. Give for the other one. Give to further the gospel, and it's an amazing thing. Well, I hope this has been a blessing to you. If it has, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And make sure you're subscribed. Send it to someone. Post it on your social media. That's a huge blessing. Shout out to all of you guys who do that. And you know what we're going to do until next time. We're going to keep carrying the fire.